just entered the hottest relationship podcast on YouTube. We're talking about dating in 2024. Topics like red flags you missed, submission, gender roles, good sex, and bad sex, cheating, lies, and first dates, and a lot more hosted by the beautiful author L. Lynn Jackson and sensational Sebastian, and that dude all-star. So smash that subscribe button and get locked in. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up TV, man. I am your host, and I have my two co-hosts on here. Y'all introduce yourself.
I am L. Lynn Jackson, author of When It Rains and Confessions of a Tired Heart. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
And I am the sensational Sebastian, a name coined by that dude All-Star,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ready to go.
And we have the beautiful Soldier Girl. Introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. I'm Soldier Girl, and I'm on Sling World. That's how I know these individuals, and I'm excited about what we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay, great. All right. Let's get this thing going on, man. So, guys, today we're talking about y'all be easy with this conversation, okay? Y'all be easy, man. First, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to Miss Jackson and Sebastian. Man, my YouTube has been taking off a lot, man. So I haven't had my Sundays has been really taken, man. Jesus Christ. I think I've been in Mississippi. I've been in Louisiana. No, I've been in Mississippi, Myrtle Beach. Where else did I go? I've been like 4 or 5 states already, and it's just the beginning of the season. So I apologize, guys. But listen, we got to find us another day. Sunday is not good for me. It is not good for me. It is not good. We got to find another day, man. So we'll talk offline and figure it out. But we're talking about husband material and wife material, man. And right off the bat, man, this is really a conversation that will go on forever, because it's like Sebastian would always say, it's subjective. What one woman might want this as a husband, another woman would want the total opposite. Mm-hmm. A man would want his wife to do this. Another man would say she ain't got to do none of that. So it's so it's just different. So what is it, Miss Jackson? What's your take on husband material?
I feel like a husband has to be whole. I think a man who's ready to be somebody's husband has all of the things. He's done everything that he needs to do as a man to be self-sufficient, and he's just looking for somebody to share that with. That's typically what I think of when I think of a man. So I'm talking, he is fully established in terms of the basics, right? The very basics: somewhere to live, a career, and reliable transportation. Mm-hmm. At least that. I would think, depending on your morals and your, ethics or whatever, you want someone who has a spiritual awareness, someone who cares about their physical well-being, somebody who is attentive to your needs, someone who is family oriented, if that is something that's important to you, just somebody who matches your values. Yeah. So I think husband material is somebody who has the basics that any adult, not just a man, but any functioning adult should have. And they are established with a plan and well on their way to where they're going. And they're just looking for someone to share that with. That's what a husband is to me.
I like all that. Hey, Phoenix. Phoenix is in the chat, guys. So Sebastian, listen now, I'm gonna put Miss Jackson on the spot. Miss co-host Jackson, I'm gonna put her on the spot because Jackson gave us her 3 minimums, didn't she? She said you got to have a job, You got to have your own place, and you got to have a car. I think it was that. Was that what it was?
Transportation. That's just the bare minimum. That's for any adult. That's just for to be a functional adult. Period. That's the very, very
Right.
Before you can even say hello to a woman, you know what I'm saying? You got to have those three things, right? All right, so let's get into this first video, man, and then we're gonna let Soldier Girl, Sebastian, go off real fast. Now this lady is talking about husband. She's talking to the females, okay? So you guys pay attention and please, we'll do our reactions afterwards.
There are 3 ways that you can distinguish, is he husband material or not. The first one, it might be a little bit controversial, but it's just something that I've noticed in my own love life and in working with so many clients. And that's, you want to look for a man who is attractive versus crazy hot. Here's what I mean by that. Have you ever been with a man and you're just like, from the bat, from the get-go, from the moment you meet him, you're just like so crazy attracted to him? Or maybe he's the guy that like other women look at and they're like, oh my God, he's so hot, right? There just seems to be this energy around him of, he's so hot, I find him hot, every other girl finds him hot. More often than not, for some reason, that usually isn't the guy that you end up with. And most of the time it's because when you feel that crazy level of attraction to a man, it's usually not your husband material man. It's a man who is, you feel chemistry with him because he matches some kind of old wounding that you have. So of course there are exceptions to the rule, especially like celebrity men, like Justin Baldoni, for example, who's an actor on Jane the Virgin, who is ridiculously hot and he's always posting about how much he loves his wife. Of course there are exceptions to the rule, but just look back on your own love life. Have you had these men where you just feel this like crazy, insane level of attraction to, and maybe you even feel like super proud because it's like the hot guy that's wanting you, but that's not always the best match. So I find usually the best match for a husband is someone that you would look at and you're like, he's attractive, I'm attracted to him. And if you show his picture to someone, they're like, yeah, you know, he's attractive. But there's not this like, every woman is thinking he's so hot. You, though, think he's hot because of the connection that you have. So most of the time, look for attractiveness versus crazy hotness.
Wow. So, I mean, it sound like, I mean, you know, all the women say, oh, Sierra got Russell Wilson, he's got money and he looks good. And all this mess, man. Well, what about Beyonce and Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying?
Beauty and the Beast. I mean,
Sebastian, is there any truth to what she said? She said basically, you got to look at a guy that's attractive to you and not the guy that's crazy hot that every girl says he's attractive, Sebastian.
I mean, that's what Lauryn Hill say? Oh, if it was so simple. If it was that simple, you know, that would be lovely. But that's not the case. I mean, you can find somebody that's extremely attractive and they perfect for you. You can find somebody that's you might just think is cute, nobody else think is cute, and everybody, you know, he's the dirtbag. So I don't know. I mean, you know, you have to talk to the ladies. I guess they can kind of get more in tune with that. For me, it's when you go up to a woman, it's just, you know, it's just the energy that they give off. It's like some women that it's just the energy that they have that attracts you to them. Not especially when you're an adult. When you're a kid, you're looking at oh yeah, she's so fine. Oh, she that. But when you become an adult, you know what I'm saying? The attraction stuff is deeper than just your skin. You know what I'm saying? It's more to it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so we're gonna have to get with the ladies. They'll probably have to answer that the attractive man situation.
D Solo says she just told you about me. But Miss Soldier Girl, all I'm saying, Miss Jackson, all I'm saying is, listen, the overly hot guy, he's got a lot of options. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to put it out there, but this is straight up TV. The overly hot guy is going to get booty thrown at him every day.
But here's the thing. I feel like any man will get booty thrown at him every day once.
Nope.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me tell you why. Once he's taken, especially if he ends up with an attractive woman. So, for example, if you have an average guy and he has a, bomb on his arm, right? all of a sudden the women in the room are going to be like, well, what he got going on that had him pull her, because he average as hell. So they're gonna be like, they're gonna be trying to get his attention. They're gonna be sliding their number. If it's on social media, if you decide to put your relationship on social media, now all of a sudden he gonna be getting inboxes, he gonna be getting likes, his profile views gonna go up. It's gonna be a whole lot of that. So the door swings, it swings both ways. I feel like it boils down to the character of a person. If you're gonna be a cheater, whether you're handsome or not, because let me tell you something, I have relaxed my standards and said, you know what? I'm not gonna go for the 6'3", dark skin, clean cut, muscular guy. I'm gonna go for the guy who's interested, that makes me feel like he's interested. And you know what? The mofos was still on some bullshit. It don't matter. It goes to the content of the character. If they're ugly and they are assholes, they're gonna be assholes either way. If they're handsome, but they decide that they want to be loyal and they want to really give their all to the person that they're with, it doesn't matter. It comes down to the character. So I think she's onto something to a certain degree, but I also feel like the missing component is, that's what she's saying, is to say that a person who looks good is going to automatically be vain enough to go out there and cheat. And that's not necessarily, he may have more options, but is he going to do anything with them?
Soldier Girl, talk to me, Soldier Girl.
So I agree with what she's saying. What I will say to that is, okay, so the hot guy, you're right. He's got a lot of options. But the ugly guy, when he gets with that chick, she's going to upgrade him in everyone else's eyes. And so Jay-Z, you said it, perfect example.
Yeah.
Jay-Z still looks like nothing. But because he's got that girl, he's the man. People are attracted to him because how did you get her? Another example, a sensation that's on social media right now, and he's fine. Pastor Keon Henderson. So I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he is now married to Shawnee, Shaq's ex-wife. So now that he's married to Shaq's, because like I seen him before, but now I see him a whole lot more now that he's married to Shawnee.
Oh, that's who that is?
Yeah, he's that guy.
Well, I don't think he's attractive though.
Oh wow. See, that's what I'm saying. What one woman finds attractive, another one does not, man.
No,
that's why
I'm not necessarily saying he's attractive, but he's got swag now that he's her husband.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
think we definitely upgrade people.
Yeah. Let me say, I got some people in the chat, man. Big Hearn 58 says, so you're saying women want someone else man rather than their own. Wow. That's what you guys said, though. That's what you guys said. You guys said.
I didn't say the woman was attached. I said that a single woman could see a taken man and decide, oh, I want him for myself because he must be doing something right if he pulled her. Now that could be true for married women as well, or taken women. I didn't specify what the woman who's looking, what her status was. But I mean, that could be. But again, it goes down to the character of the person.
Is it one of those things to where when you're single, nobody's checking for you? As soon as you get in a relationship, everybody want to try you.
Maybe for men, definitely not for women, because women are always being checked for.
Yeah.
So,
well, what you said, women are always being checked for? You saying the men are always? I mean, that's because y'all have something that I can't say all men, but most men are trying to get a taste of. So that's going to be because we have ruined.
What we trying to get? We trying to get a what taste of?
Yeah, we trying to get a taste of that peach cobbler. You know what I'm saying? That peach cobbler. We have that peach cobbler. So that's gonna always be, the case. You know what I'm saying? For most of the straight guys, that's gonna be your appetite. You're gonna be always because God put y'all lovely specimens here on Earth. So that's the purpose. We striving for that. We hunt for that. We fight for that. We do all that we do, work, have a car, have a job, have a house, so we have something to draw in, the women that we're actually trying to, the women, I won't say that we actually trying, but the women, we trying to attract that. So that's why we carry ourselves like we carry ourselves. That's why we do all the things that we do. That's why we front. That's why we stunt. That's why we do all that stuff to
chase
for that peach cobbler,
Yeah, we got Bev. What's up, Bev?
Peach cobbler with nothing to offer, nothing but a blank table. Don't even have legs on the table. Got a blow up table and a blow up mattress.
That's why I said if you can't ask a guy, would you sleep with my friend with one leg and all that? Man, that dude will tear your friend with one leg up. You don't care about that one leg. That's just the reality of the situation. Is and then it don't make it no better. Y'all outnumber us like 7-8 to 1. So that's like a tough situation, to be in, to have all those options and choices. So
hey, Peace. I want to get Brianna on here, guys. She is awesome, man. She just commented down below. She goes by the name of Peace. She's everything. She's a poet. She's everything. We got Belle Biv DeVoe. Belle Biv DeVoe is in here. She said, Miss Jackson, that is true. So I forgot what you said, Miss Jackson, but Miss Jackson, she said that is true.
Babe, I don't know what I said either, but thank you. Definitely true.
What did she say, Bev? All right, we got D Solo in here still talking. He's talking to Phoenix. Okay, so let's keep this going, man. Listen, I just want to so let's move past this reaction because she's basically saying don't go for the guy that's overly hot. And she's saying go for the guy who's hot just to you. Is this true or false? Or we just gonna move from it? It makes no sense or what?
I think both exist. So you can get that fine ass guy or you can get the average guy. It don't matter. When you get with him, that's gonna upgrade him to where other people want him. So it
comes down to him and what he's going to do. Because at the end of the day, they're all going to have options. Every single man, whether he is fugly, rotundus, or beautiful, he's going to have options. And the question is, what is he going to do with them? So unless she's talking about it from the perspective of the person who is falling for that person, like don't be mistaken. Don't let your chemistry or your physical attraction to that person make you believe that there's something there that there isn't. If that's where she's going, then maybe there's some merit to that, because you can have a physical attraction to someone, or even especially if you become intimate with that person, now you have a physical and intimate relationship with this person, and it can be mistaken for love. So I can get with that. But if she's talking about from a keeping them standpoint, baby, ain't nothing gonna keep a man but a man wanting to be kept. Period.
Well, listen, guys, I think I seen a TV show, and I think it was something like a dating game where they were dating, but they could not see each other. And then they either had the yes, I'll marry you, or no, I won't marry you, but they never got to actually see each other. I forgot the name of it, but listen, if
married at first sight.
Married at first sight. Listen, if you take out how you look physically, the shape, the Coca-Cola body shape or whatever, or the guy looks like Genuine or whoever. If you take that out, or you just go off of conversation.
Are we using Genuine as the marker?
We're talking old Genuine.
Old Genuine. Okay, Miss Jackson. Give me somebody. Jamal Moore.
Idris Elba. He's safe.
Idris Elba. All right. So if you just took out the way someone looks and you had to go off conversation, you had to go off everything except looks, what do you think would happen then?
A lot of people will be in trouble because they only looking at the attraction part, the visual of a person. They don't even get to know a person. That's why we have so many relationships that's jacked up, because we go into a relationship just off looks. Like that's why I said I don't agree with the lady, because you can pick somebody that might be attractive or whatever to you, and you jump in, off the deep end, and you didn't do no recon. You did no type of leg work on the relationship. You just jump right in. So you're not compatible with the person. You don't have no conversation. Y'all don't have nothing. All y'all have is that lust for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start having sex with that person. So now y'all have this sexual stuff going on. And then after you look up 6 months, a year, you're like, this ain't working. It wasn't working in the beginning, but you jumped in, on the deep end for the wrong reason.
I think that would be more of a man's problem than a woman's problem, to be honest with you, because you guys are more visual creatures. A woman will be more emotionally attached to a person first. So chances are, if we were to take out the physical aspect of it, a woman would probably be more likely to be happy with her choice than a man would be. Because say, for example, you have a woman and she's not that attractive, but she has a beautiful heart, she has a beautiful spirit, and she is vibing. Her and this person match. Like they have same core values. She sees him, he is amazing. He is everything that she could want. But when he sees her, she is not, that man will walk away.
Yeah.
And she won't.
Now you have to say some younger men would, because once you have been places and you have seen things,
I could agree with
my
that.
type. I have this type here, I have that type. You get away from the type stuff fast, because you realize, as you said earlier, the types don't mean nothing. You can be the finest and be a dud. You can be the ugliest and be a dud. So it's not about the look. It's as you mature, you start to look at things a whole lot different. That's why I say you can. It depends on the person. Depends on where they are where they're at in life. Because a man has been through so much, and he might be a 10 or whatever, as you can, like Idris Elba situation, but he done had a whole bunch of bad relationships. He might find a woman that's not his, that he would never have talked to before, but now he is. Hey, I'm in this because he has had all the model chicks and all this stuff, and it didn't work. So it's all about then the chemistry instead of the look of the person. Because my wife now is not, and she'll tell you, I'm not her type. She was not my type. I was the dark-skinned, super curvy, all that stuff. That was my type. Her type was 6'3". I'm 5'11". I'm not light-skinned. I'm not none of that. I'm a regular, average, kind of medium caramel fellow, and I was not her type. She was not my type, because she is light, slim, all that stuff we met. So I'm like, it wasn't, but it had nothing to do with the type, because we had been through so much. So you get away from the type stuff. It's like, hey, I need somebody that's going to be what I need him to be. That look stuff is for the birds. The type stuff is for the birds. I don't care about the type. I need somebody that's going to be in the lane and going down the same direction I'm going. So
yeah, somebody's going to be solid with you. Hey, we got a comment from Big Hearn. Big Hearn.
I like it.
Says, curious to know if the panel believes monogamy or marriage is truly a natural thing for human beings, or is that something that's being programmed into us for such a long time that it's the norm?
We'll never know. Like, okay, so I think that door can swing two ways, because we don't know. We only know what we're programmed to, right? I think it, again, comes down to what comes naturally to a person. If you are, I can tell you that I have been faithful in a relationship for years at a time. Years. Okay. So I know that monogamy is possible, at least for me. Is every person made that way? Maybe not. There are people who don't have a monogamous bone in their body. They have a savor for a different flavor on a regular basis. And
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, you need to align yourself with the person who's okay with that lifestyle, or just never attach yourself. The problem isn't that people have attached themselves to the idea of monogamy more than it's people try to force monogamy when that's not who they are. If you know that that's not who you are, then just don't freaking get freaking married. It's very simple.
Dropping it.
You can get married and have you a bunch of wives. Like, what's that, polygamy or whatever? You can have a bunch of husbands, a bunch of wives, whatever you want to do.
But don't get married to somebody who believes that you're a monogamous person and they believe and they are monogamous,
right?
Because you want them for yourselves, but you also want to do this other thing. It just boils down to, at this point in our lives, be with who matches your energy. Be with who matches your value, your core beliefs, your system. If your system is, I want to be with this one and that one and the other one, then I guarantee you there is a woman out there that is willing to do that with you. You just got to be okay with it. Because and you also have to be, because I tell you what, a lot of men are polygamous until their wives become polygamous. And now it's a problem. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology because I haven't dived deep into that world because that's not my world. But a lot of people, they want that lifestyle for themselves, but they don't want it for their partner. But baby, you can't have it like that. That means you don't need to be with a partner. You just got to find the person who matches your energy. Whoever doing what you're doing, that's what you want. It's that simple.
And it goes back to that when people use the word equally yoked wrong. Equally yoked is the same mindset. That's what stops the problems. That's what stops if we have the same mindset, you'll kill a whole bunch of problems that you would have from the get-go. So if the question seems more of like how it was, because when I said a few minutes ago that women outnumber men. So before, if you're talking about even biblical, people would say, hey, well, they had multiple wives and all that stuff then, and everybody can have a husband and everybody can be married or whatever the case may be. And then it also says, if you're going to do this, take this line of work in ministry, you to be a husband of one wife. So what is that you are trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish in your relationship? Are you that person saying, I want to have multiple wives or multiple husbands, whatever the case may be? Or are you the person that said, I only want one? That's what stops a lot of the problems. But like she said earlier, we try to force stuff on people. It's not you. Just, hey, that's not me. I'm not a monogamous person. I don't want to be in a relationship just with one person. So, but a lot of times you up front, you'll find out a lot of people have the same mentality as you. You'll find somebody that you can yoke well with, and you won't have those problems that you have. So like you said, you have people that say we have an open relationship. Hey, they doing them. If that's what you choose, that's what you choose. So we got to be able to navigate the spaces without putting somebody in the same box as you because you feel like your way is the right way and their way is the wrong way.
Yeah. I think a lot of people go into situations thinking off the top, this is going to be a monogamous situation. And then when the marriage runs into issues, the monogamy, they use polygamy to try to cure what's going on in their marriage. Mm-hmm. If that's what if that's your go-to after the fact, that's what you was in the beginning. You wasn't transparent about who you were and what you were into. And so polygamy is being pushed big time. The days of monogamy, it still exists, but polygamy is really on the rise. It's becoming a lot more acceptable. It's not the taboo thing anymore. People are open and transparent about it. And so, with the times, it doesn't make it right or anything, but it is definitely something that you just can't discredit any longer.
Yeah. I mean, and going back to the original question real quick, I don't think we can ever really answer that because we don't know what we were taken from. We don't know as a people, I'm just talking just for Black people in general. We don't know what our ideals and customs and such were for our ancestors. We that's foreign to us, short of you getting into African studies and really diving deep into that. So we'll never really know. We've been indoctrinated and assimilated into American culture, and in American culture, monogamy is what you do. So we don't know.
Hey guys, I want to ask you guys this question. So for Sebastian, I want you to speak on the fact or that if you would allow this to happen. All right. And young ladies, I want you guys to speak on the fact if you would do this, and Sebastian, if you will allow this to happen. So at work today, I overheard a conversation between the three young ladies, right? And remember, Sebastian, I want you to react to this if you would allow this. And ladies, I want you to react to this if you would do this. So it was a conversation I was listening to. So the one wife, she's a wife, she says, girl, I wake up at 2 a.m. Listen, I wake up at 2 a.m. to cook my breakfast. To cook my husband breakfast, right? I wake up 2 a.m. to cook my husband breakfast. Then I get dressed and I drive an hour to work. I work a 10-hour shift. I drive home, I cook dinner, and I repeat the same cycle every day. Now, I was just listening. I was like, damn, the wives out there doing it like that. Now, mind you, she's waking up 2 a.m. to cook breakfast for her husband. He still sleep. He don't get up until another couple more hours. But she wakes up 2 a.m. to cook breakfast for her husband. Then she goes and gets ready, drives an hour to work. So, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Would you,
Yeah, I mean, I would allow my wife to do. There's a lot of stuff that I would do. That people would say that's crazy doing that for your wife, but it is what it is.
You can get up, cook your own damn breakfast, man.
Right, but I'm saying it ain't the fact that he's making her. You have to be willing to do that. Can't nobody make you do that, especially if you're leaving at 2 o'clock. You just leave. He don't know what he go. He sleep. So that has to be something that she wants to do for him. That's her showing her love for him. That has nothing to do with you making me, situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if she had a problem with it, she would have said, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to get up at 2 o'clock and cook this food and go. She actually excited about it. She's happy that she able to do that for her husband or her man or whoever it is. She's happy to be able to do that for him. That's her showing her love for him.
So what I hear from you, Sebastian, is that it wouldn't be mandatory, but if she wanted to do that, then
yeah, if that's what you're doing, that's what I say. Hey, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that people look at. People look at our relationship as crazy. Your wife do that, or you do that for your wife? It just is what it is. I mean, our love for each other. That's just what we do. We just doing. There is no obligation. We don't put no pressure on each other to do it. But because of our love for each other, we conduct ourselves in that manner.
Yeah. So, Soldier Girl and Miss Jackson, I mean, if you're that wife and you got to wake up 2 o'clock to cook breakfast for your husband and he sleep, he going to get up a couple hours later and eat. Then you got to get dressed and drive an hour to work a 10-hour shift, and then drive home and repeat the same cycle the next day.
Okay. You go on, Soldier Girl. Let's just go.
Okay. It's definitely a no for me.
It's a no.
No, that's not something that I would do. There's 24 hours in a day. If you do the math, when is she sleeping? When is she taking care of herself? I understand her being a wife and taking care of her husband and everything, but if she's doing all that, can I have dinner ready for me? Once I don't work a 10-hour day. I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I made breakfast for you. Then I had to drive for an hour to work. Then I worked a 10-hour day. And I come home.
You do about
so at what point am I going to sex you? At what point am I going to sleep? At what point am I going to take care of my kids, our kids? So it's a no for me.
Okay. Let me start with different strokes for different folks. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So what works for them, let me tell you something. I got to a level of maturity, rather, when I realized that what I thought she was stupid for, that ain't for me to say, because that's for them. What she do for her man and what he do for his woman, that's not my business. So if homegirl is happy to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to flipping eggs, baby, kudos. Who's not doing that? Lori.
You know what?
Only because
it means that this lady she is engaged. She is 1,000%.
No, it don't. Pause.
Oh,
no, it don't. Because what it could mean, it could mean that. You're right. But it doesn't have to mean that. It could also mean that she's doing whatever she can to compensate for whatever lack she feels she has. So that could be that. That's one thing.
Look at Soldier Girl.
The other thing is, now I'm not saying I wouldn't, because I have gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning and cooked grits, eggs, and bacon, grits, eggs, and sausage because he was hungry. And so was I. So, you know what I'm saying? But even if I wasn't, and he said, I'm hungry, and that's what I feel like eating, and I'm up, why not? I would do it. Is that going to be something I'm going to do on a regular basis? And only because I say no, because I can't pour from an empty cup. If I am constantly pouring out and not being replenished, not being refilled, not being restored, at some point I'm going to experience burnout. Yeah. And then what does that look like? So at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't do it, because I would. Would I do it consistently? No. If my man is in bed and, you know, I'm up or whatever, or even if he wakes me up, depending on the type of man he is. But I'm believing and trusting God that when God sends me that person, if I haven't already met him, he's going to say, I'm hungry. I'm about to go fix me something. You want something. He's not going to wake me up out my sleep because he up. I'm asleep. He not going to wake me up and be like, baby, go fix me a sandwich. Because where's the consideration in that?
Remember,
you know what I'm saying?
Like we're talking husband material and wife material. Let me look at these comments. Like, listen, okay, Tanya, welcome. Tanya says, why not meal prep on weekend and just warm it up? Listen, what if he say he wants some fresh food? He wanted fresh off the skillet. You know what I'm saying? He wanted fresh, y'all. Bev says, I totally agree about the meal prep. But we don't want to eat no leftover that's been in the refrigerator Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We don't want that. I like what Jernice said. Jernice said, what if she's on a budget? That they saving money. And Phoenix said, not happening. She said, it ain't happening. It just ain't happening. It just ain't happening. Listen, the title of this podcast is Wife Material. If you tell that man, if you're trying to get that ring, when you tell that man when y'all date, this man be like, this woman right here she go hard for me. He gonna put a ring on it. He gonna put a ring on it, Sebastian.
But you also have to sustainable. And that's not sustainable. She's human, she's not robotic. She's going to burn out.
But Miss Jackson, we're gonna give you an A. We're gonna give you A for the effort.
Anything is sustainable is how you are conducting yourself while you're doing it. She didn't say that she don't never get a break. She don't say that when I get home I have to do all that. All she said was, I cook breakfast in the morning, I go to work my shift, I come home and I fix dinner. She didn't say he don't clean up the house. She didn't say he don't have the kids. She didn't say he don't put the kids to bed. She didn't say any of those things. So we have to look at things differently, because we're looking at it in the mentality of, I'm not going to look stupid for nobody. I'm not going to burn myself out. We have to start to look at relationships like we do our job, because you show up to your job, you do your job every day. You don't tell your boss, I ain't doing them papers. I'm not putting that up. I'm not hanging that up. I'm not going to work with them kids. I'm not reading that paper. I'm not making no lesson plans. I'm not going to go over here and set up this curriculum for this thing. You're going to go do whatever the boss tell you to do, because he is the boss. So now when you get home I'm burnt out because I had to go to work. But when you go to your job, this is the things that we have to make sure we're being careful of and watching out for is, hey, I can't be a super servient person at my job when I get home, and for my spouse, I act like I can't do nothing, or I can't do that. You know, I can't make that happen, because again, this is how it works. My wife say, I want chandeliers in the house. James going getting chandeliers and he hanging the chandeliers up. My wife say, I want this piece of garden stuff in the garden. I need this made. Put that together. I'm going to make that happen. At the same time, my wife don't fix no cars. My wife don't pay none of the bills. My wife don't have to do none of the stuff that has to do with maintaining anything. That's my job, and I love it. And I don't care if I'm tired. If we get something, I get home, and we didn't went to the store and I have bought stuff that has to be put together. We get back at 8 o'clock. I don't go to sleep till it's put together. I'm just that type
That's
of guy.
what
I
I'm
want
talking
her to have that when she get up.
But
I want her to see that. I want her to see that this is what it is. So
It
we
is.
have to start looking at things not as it's a job, as it's like a task. Look at it like you look at your profession. I'm in a relationship. This is my employer. My spouse is my employer. Let me treat them like I treat the people at my job. My supervisor at work. You ain't cussing your supervisor out when they come bring the extra work and put on your table. You don't. I ain't doing that. Because you're gonna be fired. You're gonna do the work and you're gonna keep it moving. We have to learn to balance. We have to stop looking at it as like, oh, you making me look bad, or she trying to make me look bad because she told me she want to go out here and I just got off work. I don't care if I just came back. I did plumbing at the university. I would go to work, get off work. They might call me back for overtime. I go in for overtime, come back. Me and my wife are still going on a date. I get back from the date. And if she wants something hung up or made or put together, we'll make it and put it together. Just is what it is. It's not a task because I love my wife. But it has nothing to do with the thing. You know how to structure stuff so you don't get burnt out. That's how we pop out. And my wife will say if she doing a lot of stuff like, hey, I'm spent right now. I'm emotionally drained. Hey, now it's time to go take a trip. We out of here. I don't have to wait and set up nothing for no 3 months later. We can leave right now, and we going where we want to go. Where you want to go to? We going, and we gonna go enjoy ourselves, relax. We take days. We just go, and we had a day like that here last week, and we just took 3-4 days, just went, stayed at a nice hotel, just relax. We didn't do nothing. All we want to do is just lay back and chill, and not be at home. We had a little staycation, so we went out and we just hung out, laid back, enjoyed ourselves. But that's how you get those friends. You got to continue to date, man, and continue to do stuff and not look at stuff as a task or people trying to get over on you, especially when it's your wife or your husband.
Hold on,
that's why I said different strokes for different folks. That's why I started that way, because, if it works for them, that's on them. I know for me and my body and the way my life is set up, I couldn't do that, not consistently. So that's why I said for me, it would be a burnout. Do I think that she will experience a burnout? Humanly, 12 hours a day, 1 hour spent driving there, 1 hour spent driving back, 10 hours spent at work. That's 12 hours out of 24. That's half your day. That's not to talk about the 2 a.m. wake up and the cooking the cooking when she gets home. So I'm trying to figure out where she's actually restoring herself. I'm not putting nothing on him for what he's not doing or doing and this and other. That may be, but I'm just looking at humanly from the hours in the day. I just don't see how she's gonna. I don't see how that's sustainable. Yeah, but it's not for me to see. That's their business.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me put this mess up. Victoria says, "I've been married with my husband for 34 years and married. Well, no, I've been with my husband for 34 years and married for 29 years. It's really teamwork,
absolutely,
with everything.
Yeah.
And there's some other comments. Bernice said, exactly, Sebastian. Gloria Jackson says she's been married for 51 years. Oh, my God. Congratulations, Gloria. Congratulations.
That's my mommy.
Congratulations.
Hey, mommy.
That's what's happening.
That's beautiful.
Tanya says, but if he knows the demands of her schedule and cares for her well-being and loves her, then why would he require that instead of saying, baby, don't worry about it? Get some extra rest. Right. That's what I'm saying. But listen, guys, I'm not making this up. I heard this at work. And she wasn't even, when she was saying it, the other girl was like, girl, I couldn't even do nothing like that. She was saying it like she was proud of it. Like she was wearing it like an honor, a badge of honor. But let me say this. The reason why I wanted to say that, because we're talking about wife material and husband material. Now, listen, let me go a little deeper with this. Ms. Jackson. Can I go a little deeper with this, Ms. Jackson?
Please do.
Okay. Now it's kind of extreme that she gets up at 2 and does all that. But let's say husband all of a sudden he's permanently in a wheelchair. Now she got to take care of this man. That's extreme too. But I think if I think that she would be willing to get up at 2 a.m. and cook me breakfast, if something happened to me, I think she would be right on path.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Scenario. And that go both ways. It go both ways.
I was about to say, I think the woman who wouldn't be wanting to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning would do it too. Because I've been in a situation where my ex-husband was incapacitated. He had surgery on his knee. His knee was out of whack. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, but nonetheless, I was in school. I was working. I had a baking business. I was taking care of my 2 toddler girls. I was taking care of my dying grandmother. I was a cheer coach. I had a whole lot going on at the time. But nonetheless, I fixed his meals. I did his care. I drove him all the way to work, which was an hour away. Came home, did my stuff that I had to do, drove all the way back, picked him up. And I did that for 3-4 months because he couldn't. We do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Okay. All right.
Also, I would challenge you. I would ask that you. I don't know if she knew that you heard her conversation, but somehow find out how long she's been doing this, because this don't seem like a long-term situation.
And find out what he do for her.
Yeah, I'm trying to. When I was listening,
I want to know the other side. What's the flip side of this? Because then I want to know also, is she the type of woman that has a man that she is raising? Like, is he laying in the bed? Like, is he doing? Is this her way of keeping him? Because
so now, Sebastian, it's like what I'm hearing, Miss Jackson and Soldier Girl. What I'm hearing, Sebastian, is we trying to see who. If you doing this, then maybe I'll.
Is he getting over on you, or are you doing this because you want to do it?
I mean,
like, are you worthy of that? That's your husband, man. They looking at him like she's a dummy. You's a dummy because I ain't doing it. That's your husband. That's your husband. That might just be how she shows love. That just might be how she shows him Sebastian, love. If that man want food, if he want some he want to make love, that's your wife. That's where you supposed to get it from.
I agree. That's why I said that's their life. Baby, she like it. I love it for her. Do it. Every day.
We're talking about wife material and husband material. That's what we're talking about.
I got a question. So my question is: so if your husband, if he wanted to have sex with you, you would say like, hey, in your mind, I'm going to be like 1-2 times a week, and he want 4 or 5 times a week. Are you willing to do that?
For me, you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking both of you.
My husband doesn't have a problem with me because I'm the one with the drive. That's number one. So he gonna be tired of me. That's number one. Number two, no, I wouldn't. This is controversial, but it's his. So yeah, you can have it when you want it, wherever you want it, however you want it. That's what keeps it.
But you don't think that you would get burnt out from that?
Yeah, you don't think you get burnt out?
Maybe somebody else.
You wouldn't get burnt out from what if a Soldier Girl? You ain't saying nothing. So would you be burnt out from constantly him wanting to have sex all the time?
Am I still waking up at 2:00 in the morning and working 10-hour shifts? And driving
I'm saying this is a whole nother situation. We ain't even worry about it waking up.
Oh, okay.
So he just wants sex all the time.
And guess what?
For me,
I need him to keep up with me.
That's not a problem. Let me tell you something. The only way that would be a problem is if I feel like that is the only intimacy we have.
Yeah.
If I feel like a piece of meat and my only purpose in your life is vagina, then yes, that would feel like that wouldn't feel good. But if there is a companionship there, a partnership there, we are doing life together, then I'm going to want that for him. First of all, that's what awakens a woman's drive anyway. For us to be able to, and I'm going to go into submission a little bit, for us to be able to relinquish, because women wear capes, okay? Most of us. We are superheroes.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Do you understand how I can take this motherfucker off? I cannot wait to fold it up and tuck it away neatly in a corner and leave it.
Yeah.
You hear me? Yeah. So when I find the man, or God sends the man that allows me to take my cape off, baby, it's whatever.
Except for getting up at 2:00 and cooking food.
I didn't say that.
My point was, the point I was making was, you doing the sexual stuff, that's what you want to do. You want to do that. but the other part you don't want to do. So that part's the problem. That's what I'm saying. You can't pick and choose. You willing to, because you're a sexual person, you willing to do the sexual stuff. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Long as he love me and all this stuff. What is he loving her and all this stuff? That's why she getting up and cooking the meals at 2:00 in the morning.
Don't do me, because I already said that I've done it and I would do it. I would. Could I? Is it sustainable? No, because I know me. That's not sustainable for me. I have gotten up at 3:00 in the morning.
So what will be sustainable? 4 days a week doing that? 3 days a week getting up?
I can't speak from an honest place. I can't say that I would do that consistently on a regular basis. I know I need my rest. I know that I've blood pressure, high stress job, kids. I need rest. So I'm not gonna, like I said, I believe that when I'm in a relationship, God is gonna send me somebody that would not require that of me. Yeah. I'm not, because that's not something that I'm capable of consistently.
Right.
Can I do it? Will I do it? Absolutely. Will I, rub his feet, give him a pedicure, do all of that? I'll do all that shit. I would. But I'm not going to be able to because of me. I'm not a morning person. I'm not about to be up at 2:00 in the morning on a consistent basis, because that's not in my character. I'm not going to expect him to do something that's not in his character.
So if he say I'm not a pay everything person, I'm a 50-50 person, we might have a problem.
I mean, not that he needs to pay everything. I don't need my man to pay everything. I do believe in a partnership, but I'm not a 50-50 person. I'm a 100 person. We're gonna give 100% of what we have at all times in all areas. That's just what we gonna do. And if you don't have it, I got it. If I don't have it, you got, like that. That's how we gonna do that.
That's what I'm saying. Now y'all keep telling me we're at 100, but y'all don't want to get up at 2:00 and fix the breakfast.
Yeah, that 100.
Are we 50? Are we 40, 60? I'm bringing it back to what you telling me, but what you telling me ain't matching the information that you putting out there. You can't say I'm willing to do all this stuff, but it can't be a but. You have to say, hey, I'm doing this because this is who I am.
You got to go in, Miss Jackson.
For marriage. I am built for marriage. So whatever it requires, I had these prayers for God when I was over here. And got out my last situation. I'm over here like, listen, God, you know me. I don't want to deal with no stupidity. I need a wife. I need a woman. I don't need no girl. I don't have time to be out here trying to get somebody lined out and where they need to be and all this type of stuff. I need somebody already locked in, know what they're trying to do in life, ready to go build this forest, this path, so we can get something and build something together. And so once he gave me that, I asked for that. So then I can't now, after I ask for it and I get it, then I'm like, well, I didn't know I had to do all this stuff. I didn't know I had to get up and, be over here, and she want me to do this stuff, and I got to do this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we're not going to want to do, but we just have to do. That's just part of the operation. We can't make it. We can't say we're 100 and take shortcuts. We got to just go all in, or be all out.
24 hours.
Huh?
Whataburger is 24 hours.
Listen, when I was in the military, you was in the military 24/7, 365. They called you at 2:00 in the morning. You going in at 2. I don't care if you feel like it or not. You're going in at 2:00 in the morning. For all my soldiers, you understand this. If we going and something happens, you got to go somewhere. Ain't no conversation. You load up and you take off. You understand you understand the mission. When you sign up for the mission, when you sign up for that job, you know what the requirements are. So you have to be willing to take the requirements.
I'm not signing up for a job that wants me to cook at 2:00 in the morning every morning.
You just said you wanted God to send you a man. So God send you this man. You can't now say, God, you gave me this man, but this mother want me to get up at 2:00 and fix his legs.
God ain't gonna send me that man.
Go ahead.
He know that's not for me.
Go ahead, Soldier Girl.
This is the thing, Sebastian. I'm not going to do anything in the beginning that I'm not willing to do throughout the relationship.
Okay.
Including going into the marriage. So I'm not going to put up this front and do all these things and wake up at 2:00 in the morning, knowing a year from now, that's not me. I knew that from day one, that wasn't me. So I'm not even going to send a representative to you So you're not able to make an informed decision on whether or not I'm the right woman.
Okay,
That's what I'm talking about right now. See, that's what I need right there. Honest conversation right there. I need you to tell me the truth. So all the fans out here that's coming, y'all, they seeing this podcast. They're gonna be at y'all next year in a little bit. They're gonna be on y'all. They're looking for a good woman. They're gonna see y'all, and now y'all giving them information. They need this information because this is about husband material and wife material. So they need to hear this stuff. It's real talk from you guys and me. You know what I'm saying? And we telling the real talk because you got, like you just said, don't be putting the stuff out there that you know you're not going to be able to maintain and handle for a long run.
I'm saying. She's saying
but we have to say that. We can't be like, I'm beating around the bush. You got to just say it. You know what I'm saying? Just say, hey, it is what it is. I like it.
We got Phoenix, and Phoenix says, Miss Jackson, stand your ground because God will send you who's right for you.
And he will.
And yeah. And Phoenix also says, facts, soldier girl, facts.
Right. You will come correct from the very beginning. And from the very beginning, my future spouse is going to know that I'm not getting up at 2:00 every morning. I'll get up as needed. I'll do it when I need to, when it's, every now and then, if I'm up and this and the other, I got you. But everyday thing, that's not in my character.
Miss Jackson, you better not. Hey, if you get married while we on this podcast, and you get up and morning and fix some breakfast at 2:00, I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna be on your neck, but I still
on the told you that I would do it. I said I would. It's just not a sustainable activity.
Okay, is there every once in a while? Okay, I got you. Every once in a while. Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. The scenario that All-Star even brought up, I don't see a lot of wife material in there. Somebody waking up at 2:00 in the morning to cook for you. Okay, maybe that's wife. But her driving to work, her working 10 hours, her driving back another hour. At what point in 24 hours is she wife material?
Well, see, I'm gonna answer that for you because this is how it works. James is the guy that told his wife, "Don't work. You don't have to do nothing. That's my job. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna take care of you. You can get whatever you want." My wife is spoiled to the 18th power, but my wife wants to work, so I can't stop her from working. So she works. I can't stop her from working. So that might be her situation. She might be where her husband's saying, "You don't have to do nothing. You can just be here." You know what I'm saying? I want you here with me. I'll take care of all this stuff. You don't have to do nothing. She might be in a position to have it. I have a nephew that his wife is a nurse, and he was in the military and he's an electrician, so he doing good too. She actually go to work, and she is highly reckless with her mouth, but she'll go to work and be like, "I don't have to be here because my husband take care of everything. He told me I don't have to be here, so you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way." And she would slide out on you. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. So you gotta understand that's right. Some people have the option to do things, so they just doing stuff because that's what they want to do. They don't want to just be at home. They want to be at work. They want to be doing other things. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that we have to look out for as well. That a lot of the men, people, especially the men that's from where I'm from and was raised how I'm raised, our job is to take care of our family. So we've been taught that since we were little kids. Take care of your family. You take care of your family. If you have to work 2 jobs, work 2 jobs, and you keep it pushing. You built for that stuff. So we pride ourselves on that. So, but our women and our wives, they want to work. So you can't make them not work. You can't say you can't do. You can't work. That's but you had an option. So she might be cooking the breakfast and stuff. Goes, hey, this is one of the things. Hey, I'm taking care of him, but I still want to do what I want to do. So I'm going to work and I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah. And I'm sure she ain't working 5 days a week. If she working 10 hours, they only give you 40 hours. They ain't trying to get the overtime money out. So she might be working 4 days a week.
4 days. Go ahead,
soldier girl.
So 12 of those hours, because I'm doing the math, because I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be at what.
I have it written down too. Like, wait a minute, 12. I
can't get away from the math. I can't get extra time. So
okay, it's the same thing that when the husband is at work for 10 and 12 hours, when is he supposed to be husband. He still got to come home. And he can't neglect the kids. He can't neglect the wife. He can't neglect the house. He still got to go to work, come home, and be a husband.
Absolutely, he does. If he's working that much, something is neglected. Trust me.
Whoa.
Something is neglected. You're not doing all that work.
Yeah, my boy, these solos summed it up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's how you are structuring your time. For some people like myself, I don't have to be on the video game. That's not something that I'm into. I don't have to watch TV because all my kids are grown now, so I'm in a different situation. But when my kids were younger, I worked a lot. I'm in the plumbers program, so that means you got to go to work, go to school at night, come home. So I still got to be with the kids. I'm at soccer games, cheerleading, volleyball, anything they come over, I'm there. I'm at everything. Again, like she said, hey, it's stressful, it's a wear and tear, but you have to understand that the days that I have off, the time I have off, take that time off. Rest yourself because you understand this is a job, but it ain't like it lasts like that. It's like that forever. But I understood it until my kids turned 18 years old. That's the life I signed up for. So hey, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna be a little tired. I'm gonna be tired. I'm still gonna play with the kids. I'm still gonna do what I gotta do for the job. I'm still gonna do what I gotta do for my wife. That's how it goes. Like programming. You know, for me, it is what it is. I don't care about the burnout because I understand what my purpose was and what I was trying to accomplish in my family structure. So some people ain't built for it. So I ain't mad at them. I'm built for it. So it don't bother me not one bit.
Let me get to the next video, man. We at 1 hour, man, and we only did one video, man.
Hey, we going in.
Good God. So listen, Soldier Girl, are you single? May I ask you that? Are you single?
It depends on what day of the week it is. Yeah, I'm single.
Okay. Miss Jackson, you're single? I'm single. Okay. So I had a question earlier, and it asked me what was my type. So once we get through these videos, we're gonna talk about our types, what our type is. But anyway, let's go to the next video, man. God, y'all. Let's go to the next video.
So I think as a woman, for me, it's really important for me in order to create a well-known balance of a relationship with a man is one of the qualities, one of the traits that I look for in a man is his ambition, right? I want to be inspired by the man that I'm going to marry, right? So I find him inspiring. I'm motivated by him. He makes me become a better person. And when I say makes me, like I proudly say makes me become a better person. Like it's not like he's controlling me, but he makes me become a better person, and I own that. And I think that's a really big quality that a lot of women, especially great women and women that are very aware of what they want, look for that trait.
Now, when you say that, I think about this, right? I think about like if he makes me, it's not through he's physically forcing me, right? What I'm hearing is through his being, through his leadership, through how he shows up, that energy rubs off on you, and you're like, I want to be better.
Yeah, like I have to be better.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So she's saying, I guess this is Miss Jackson and Soldier Girl. She's saying that she's attracted to a guy. What she requires is a guy that inspires her and the guy that motivates her. So how important is that as a husband material for a guy to motivate you without even trying to motivate you and inspire you to do bigger and better things, man?
I think that's the quality of any good leader. Any good leader, I mean, and that's the role of a man in a household, right? In a marriage, his role is to lead. And any good leader is going to inspire growth, a growth mindset, right? And so with that being said, I 100% agree with her. Somebody who, and that's one of the things I mentioned when we first started the podcast, was a man with a plan. Like if you may not be necessarily in the end stages or whatever, you may be in the planning stages of your plan, but you are actively working. You're doing the action steps to do that. When a woman sees that, or even vice versa, when a man sees that in a woman, if he is a man or she is a woman, truly, then it is going to light a fire under you in some form or fashion. It's going to be inspirational, where you're going to want to assert yourself in your areas of giftedness and also support that person in theirs. Even sometimes your role isn't necessarily to have your own piece of greatness more than it is to support your mate in theirs. So it could be that you are elevating them to where God, wants them to be. You're helping to propel them forward. Or as she said, that person is enlightening you in ways that you are growing and cultivating your own gifts, checking to make sure, hey, for example, I'm a writer, somebody, hey, have you written today? You've been off for how many days has school been out? How's your book coming along? With, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Or not necessarily pushing on me, but I want to do this. So, hey, I took a class on budgeting, or I took a class on this or that or whatever, because I'm trying to move this and this is what I want to do. And I know the action steps to get there is this. Hearing that from somebody is such a freaking turn. Like, you actually want to be great?
Wow.
Oh my God.
So,
it's inspirational for sure.
wow. Nice. Soldier Girl.
Yeah, I definitely have to echo what she's saying. If you see me with somebody, you best believe they're a leader. I'm just drawn to people who are leaders. The beta male does not do it for me. I don't want to, because I'm strong myself, and so it would be my fear that I would unintentionally overpower, anything that he's trying to do. And so I know my strength, and I need and require someone who is as strong as me or stronger. I want to be led. Just like she said, that cape. I've been doing it for years. I'm exhausted. I want to be submissive. I want that man that's going to tell me, hey, let your hair down. I got this. I got this. So, and I'm ready to be led. I know what it is.
That's powerful. That's powerful right there. There's a lot. That's powerful, Soldier Girl. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That you acknowledge.
I'm sorry.
That's
you
powerful.
definitely have to exude those characteristics of a leader in order for me to let my guard down for you to lead me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm ready. Husband, bring it.
And we have to understand that even with that, like y'all saying, somebody that's gonna lead well and all that. For me, it's always my wife is a representation of me. So if you get over my wife, or you trying to shorten my wife, that means you're trying to shorten me. We're gonna have a problem. So I'm always, we always growing in those areas like, hey, watch this, watch that. Because my wife has a business. She's had a business for years, so multiple businesses actually. So it's like we constantly growing, constantly striving. I'm constantly like, hey, we gotta watch this, watch that, because I am a representation of her. So she like, why you always cut your hair before the podcast? Why you always when we go somewhere, you gotta go get your hair cut? Now I'm like, I represent you. When I go out, I can't go out looking dusty. I'm a representation of you. Just like you don't never go out looking dusty. You going to check the mail, and you didn't seem like you didn't get ready to go to the prom or something. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? But I understand why. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, I do this because we represent each other. So when we go on somewhere, we got to make sure that we are showing and people understand that, hey, these are real people. This guy here, she is submissive because he leads well. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we don't have those problems. People looking like, hey, y'all get along pretty good. Yeah, because we've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we understand, like y'all said, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of work. It is not easy. Marriage is not the end. Marriage is like graduating from high school. You just start another chapter in your life, so you got to understand it's work. It's not just a pop in, everything gonna go lovely and everything gonna be beautiful. Everything you got to put in some work. So that's that. Be honest up front. That's why I say, like you said, when we got to that point, be honest up front. Hey, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. Now we can work a little bit. I can do every once in a while. I can do that, but I'm not built for that. So we have to make sure we have those real conversations, especially when we're looking for people and we see somebody there's a potential for you guys, husbands. You know, you want to make sure that you are being honest and open with this fellow, so he ain't out here getting a false representation of what he gonna receive. And then when y'all actually get married, like, hey, what happened to the, you know, we were, you know, so you don't want to do that. So, you know, that it ain't just communicating, it's understanding. I learned that. I thought I was communicating, but the understanding portion, because y'all's mentality, women's mentality, and how y'all look at things is totally different, and the man's perspective and mentality. So we have to make sure that when you communicate, that you have an understanding in your relationship. So when you get to that point of marriage, all good to go.
Yeah, Sebastian, Tanya is agreeing with you. She says you are correct that you have to put in that work every day. Listen, I want to say, listen, man, it's like moving forward, man. You just gotta keep moving forward, doing the right thing. Even when it gets hard, you gotta keep moving forward, man. You think about the windows in a car. The windshield is bigger than the rear view window. It's because you're not supposed to look out the back. You're supposed to look out the window going forward. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about doing the right thing and keep moving forward, man. And anything that you are consistently doing, it will become easy, man. It will become very easy, and it will become very important. So let's move on to our next video.
We're talking marriage. It's not just about having your looks when you meet the man. It's about keeping up your looks during marriage. Many men complain that after years of being married, that their wives did not keep up their looks, whether it's their weight or it's their skin or it's their routines in terms of like getting their nails done or getting their hair done. And this is something that men really find disappointing, and it does impact marriage. Now, you may think that it's not that big of a deal and that men should just love you because you're you and because they know you now, but that's just not the case. The truth is, men are visual, and that's not something that's going to change just because you don't like it. That's how they are wired. And that attraction is what keeps them motivated to care for you, to show up for you in the marriage. And it just helps the entire feeling of the marriage just be more pleasant. Because when you look nice, when you put effort into yourself, when you feel good about your weight and your health, you feel better about your own life. So that presence that you're bringing with you impacts him. And when you're married, a man's wife is his glory. It's his representation. It's what he's putting out into the world, saying that this person is a reflection of me. So when you put care into the way you look, the way you present, you're showing up for him too. It's not just about you.
Yeah. I don't want no trophy wife, and I don't want no supermodel. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I do want her to feel sexy and confident about how she looks and how she carries herself. And then when I see that, I'll definitely fall in love with how she's so confident, how she feels like she's so sexy. And when she puts on a new outfit, how she changes and she's just like glowing. So, I mean, I understand what she's talking about. She's pretty much saying, hey, you always got to keep yourself up. You got to push it. You got to always change your hairstyle. You got to keep your figure looking nice. But I think to me, you know, there's more of an aspect of how I see you feel about yourself, because I want you to feel like you're the shit. I want you to feel like you're the only woman that has my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like what she said though. Basically, she said, yeah, a lot of men say after, I've been married for so long, people stop giving a big effort about how they look. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I see both sides of it. I definitely see what you're saying. A lot of men are attracted to confidence. They are attracted to a woman knowing her value and worth and standing in that. And then on the flip side of that, I definitely agree. I'd said that earlier. In fact, as she was about to say it, I was writing visual. I was writing that down. I think it's important for a woman to keep that, in her head, that what marriage is about, for better or worse, and all of that good stuff. But worse doesn't have to be your appearance, right? Because they are visual. And so I think there are some unavoidable things. We go through pregnancies, we go through menopause, we go through all kind of stuff that's going to make our body. We go through time, and it's going to cause changes. I feel like it's very important for you to develop a communication, a strong communication system in your marriage, where you just know that tough conversations are inevitable. And where if your wife has had that baby and she gained 50 pounds while she had that baby, and that is unattractive to you as a husband, then I feel like you should be able to have that conversation with her and say, babe, I need you to get to start. We got to start working this weight off of you. Let's, and then support her through that. As a wife, I think you need to be open to that conversation and understand, I had your baby. How dare you? You can't do that because that man don't want the 50 pounds on you. Mm-hmm. And you need to work on it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a matter of y'all being open communicators and understanding that men are visual. And that's something that that's important to a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay. Tanya says, unfortunately, the lady in the video is right about men. Meanwhile, they walk around looking like they looking. Should go both ways.
I agree 100% with Miss Tanya.
But I find that men don't necessarily let themselves go. Like
shit me,
Miss Jackson.
No, I'm saying for in a marriage. So say, for example, if you marry a guy and he was fine when you met him, chances are he has that's who he is. Working out and being, that's important. That's an important part of his lifestyle. So he's probably going to continue that. You're not going to find too often that you're going to have men that are just going to develop a beer belly, and it happens. But again, that's a conversation. Baby.
Yeah, definitely. Miss Jackson, I'm going to say this. So I was military, and I can tell you a lot of people that were in the military the same time I was in, we don't look the same as we did when we was coming up through the ranks. So it definitely works both ways. You should have that mutual respect for one another to want to stay attracted to each other, because either way it goes, the woman's eyes is going to wander, the man's eyes is going to wander. It works both ways. So we don't get a pass just because we women. Physical attraction, it is what it is. And so if your man lets himself go, oh yeah, you're going to look at Jody over here because Jody got himself together. But meanwhile, my husband, he just all the way let himself go. So, and I was married before, and throughout my marriage, I did get married. I got pregnant, gained some pregnancy weight, but he assisted me and he was supportive of me getting back to my norm. And so it's always been, top tier and forefront on my mind, stay attractive, stay sexy, stay that girl that, people want to look at. So yeah, it should come within first. Nobody should have to tell you. It should come from within.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Jackson and Soldier Girl, can y'all respond to this? Jernice is in here trying to drop fire. She's trying to get some shit.
The ones who let themselves go judge women more.
She said the guys that was busted. Is that true?
Audacity is sold by the case nowadays. So people will say all kinds of audacious things that they have zero business saying. And that door swings both ways. I can't sit here and put a numeric value on whether or not it's mostly men who have let themselves go or whatever. But I will say that on both sides of the coin, people have unmitigated goal to have expectations that they cannot themselves fulfill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
I love her word.
Is it that we want what we can't have, or I don't know. I don't know. So Victoria has a nice comment here. Victoria says, your husband have the job to build your wife's self-esteem if they don't have any. A lot of women like myself care about how we look and carry ourselves at all times. I like that. I like
Nah,
that.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Wait a minute. I like it. Why you don't agree with that?
Because it's not a man's job to build your self-esteem. You need to come already built. You need to be already, you know what I'm saying? Now, if something happens in the midst of, say, for example, a woman has a baby and she starts to feel whatever, then yes, build your woman back up. Maybe that's where she's coming from. But if you can't go into something half-baked, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be whole before you go into anything. That's nobody's responsibility to fix you. Your job is to fix yourself, because guess what? When that piece is taken from you, when that piece is extracted through death or divorce or whatever, then what happens to your self-esteem? It's gone again. So that's your responsibility. Your self-esteem belongs to you.
Amen.
Self-esteem is the esteem of your mother freaking self. So if you don't have self-esteem, can't nobody give it to you,
Right.
or
because they can take it
with
away.
it. You have to have that built into you. You know, I ain't never had that problem. I don't care, you know, what the situation was. I'm actually about 40 pounds overweight from when I was in the military, so I already understand the situation, but I was already a muscular fellow anyway. But you don't work out as much as you do when you come out the military. Well, I don't, but I'm starting to now. I'm getting back there. That's why I'm drinking that watermelon juice and eating watermelon and all this type of
What
stuff.
that watermelon juice gonna do, Sebastian? That watermelon juice?
See, watermelon is water. So you just basically drinking you eating a bunch of water is all it is.
Yeah.
Watermelon is just a water fruit. Feel those. You need that water in your cells and stuff. We don't, like I said, we don't drink enough water. Even though we might drink 2-3 bottles a day, but we do so much stuff. You sweating out that water, so you're not getting that. So you need that with that, along with that little nutrition. You know, you need that. So I'm eating a lot of almonds and all that type of stuff. So I understand what it takes to get where you need to get. So it's not hard for me to get there. So, you know, and I'm the one that's always like, hey, I gotta get myself together. So I go on these journeys where I go and just get crazy on the weight loss stuff and all that. It just is what it is for me. Again, you are in control of your own self. So you don't want nobody have to come up and say, hey, baby, you gaining a little. You know, you look at yourself every day in the mirror. So it ain't like you just oblivious to the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, and like they said, when somebody had your babies and all that kind of stuff, I understand those situations. You know, so you can go to them like, hey, you know, are you okay? You good? You feel good? If they confident, they carry themselves with confidence and carry on. You can still do something. Let's go walking. Let's go ride our bikes or something. You can encourage exercise without actually saying we're going to exercise. A lot of stuff. You go to the mall, go to the Mall of Georgia or something. Get you some laps in around that big joker. It's stuff you can do to get some exercise in. That's, you know, don't require you to say, hey, you got big on me here last week or something, or over the last couple of months or whatever the case may be. So it's stuff that you can do to get stuff going. Huh?
Do you think, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you think anything's wrong with that conversation? Like, isn't it okay?
No. I'm highly bold. That's why I say you gotta watch what you ask God for, because He give you what you ask for. I'm a bold fellow. You know what I'm saying? My wife couldn't take it, you know, how I am at first. I'm just straightforward. I don't do all the, you know, tiptoeing around. Hey, if I have a problem, I'll tell you what the problem is. I don't hold no grudges, no animosity. I tell you what the problem is. Let's fix that and let's keep it moving. And even if the problem is me, I don't have no problem with you know, self-reflection or my wife telling me, hey, you lacked in this, or you did this, or I didn't like how you said that. I can fix that. We can make that happen. I'm that type of guy. I don't walk around like I know everything, like I'm the greatest to ever do it, and I never make mistakes. It's okay to apologize and say, hey, I messed that up. Let's do better and move forward. So you have to have those real conversations. I'm not scared of conversation.
And let's not get it twisted. We kind of went off in left field just talking about weight. It's not just about weight. It's keeping your hair up. The things you used to do to get people to
Get
look
the person
at you.
right.
Nails done, do your makeup, put yourself together, you know, your clothes and everything. Walk around with your head up, you know. It's a lot more than just
or nothing at all.
Beautiful plus size people men and women. And confidence is just how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. So, make sure you carry that in the relationship and in the marriage. Just continue that thing. What you did to get them, hey, keep that momentum going.
Yeah. And I think it's just, again, being open enough to have those uncomfortable conversations, because I think we get complacent. We have our person, that's my person. That's my person. And then you just get so comfortable with that person, and your comfort will sometimes allow you to slip, right? Because you're just so comfortable. And, this is going to be a little out there, but you first get with somebody, you would not dare pass gas in front of that person. It's not going to happen. That is going
to be yourself, man. Be yourself.
Embarrassing thing ever, right? But then before you know it, you lifting your legs up and y'all laughing about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get comfortable. So it just extends across the board. But I think that's where those conversations, you have to be willing to say, babe, that was a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be open to that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I guess this next video is for Soldier Girl and Miss Jackson. And before we get into the video, I want to say, so when guys shoot, they shot at you. Can y'all read through some BS? Can y'all read through some bullshit when they shoot and they shot? Like the first long conversation, you be like, this motherfucker ain't about shit. All right. So this next video, this guy's going to talk about husband material. Let's get into it.
He's spreading dick throughout the community willy-nilly. Does he not have self-discipline? Is he immature in the mind? Like, how do you know if this man is serious? How do you know if this man is worth dating? How do you know if this man is just going to waste your time? How do you know if this man is marriage-minded and husband material? So guess what? I got 4 ways for you to know if this man is actually husband material or not, marriage-minded or not. And here's the first way. Before you can know if a man is right for you, you need to know if that man carries himself like a husband would. Before you even think about being a wife to a man, make sure that he is first a husband. Does he carry himself like that? Or is he spreading dick throughout the community willy-nilly? Does he not have self-discipline? Is he immature in the mind? Is he a man? Is he a boy in a man's body? Sometimes these men carry themselves as if they ain't even qualified to be your boyfriend, but here you are pledging allegiance to this man. Does this man have mentors? Is this man intentional? Is he serious? Is he goal driven? Does he come in your life and add and not subtract? Is this man filled with integrity? Does he believe in God or something higher than himself? Or is this man just playing games? People, matter of fact, men with a husband mindset ain't got time for games. He ain't coming to your life to chase. No, he's there to pursue. He is serious. He is intentional. This man is calculated in his steps. This man is not going to hit you up with a grand rising queen message every single morning. And then once you give him sex, you don't hear nothing from him no more. This is not a man like that. This man is not thinking about getting you in his bed. This man is thinking about adding you to his life. This man has prepared a nest for you. Understand that. This man has readied himself before. So the first thing I need everybody to understand before we go forward, a marriage-minded man moves differently.
Come on, Ace Metaphor.
Hey, so yeah, I don't know. Y'all gotta talk to me. Because he laid a lot. Listen. So a lot of us shoot. Shit. I don't know, Sebastian. I don't know how to get on this one.
He was telling the truth. We have a lot of boys in men bodies, so they walk around like they're men. They're not men. They don't even conduct themselves like men. They don't even, their conversation is not even manly. You can, the stuff that they talking about is ignorant. You like, what is it? You have a childish mind. That's the stuff you say. You talking childish, you acting childish. And for me, I hold men accountable. I don't put a lot of pressure. Our women should have a standard, but my goal is to make sure that our men are getting back to how we were. We had a standard where we dressed like we cared about ourselves. we represented our community well, we represented our parents, our grandparents well. You know, we don't have a lot of that. We lose a lot of that because we have men that's mentoring these guys, let them do all kind of crazy stuff. You can't let people get away with stuff. You know, if you are saying that you mentoring, I don't care if you coaching basketball, the chess league, checkers, or whatever. Make sure that you whoever you coaching, especially if you're a man and you're coaching young men and boys, you should be teaching them how to be a man. You should be showing them things on how this is how you conduct yourself. Make sure that you courteous. Make sure that your mouth is under control when you around women and children and all. You shouldn't have your mouth shouldn't just be disgusting every time you open it. You should be able to talk without being ignorant. You know, you can get places by conducting yourself how you should be conducting yourself. So being a man is not just a age, because I know a whole bunch of 50 and 60-year-old little boys. So it's how you conducting yourself and your mindset.
Get off our neck, bro. You on our neck, Sebastian. Get off.
And maneuvering, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how it goes, man. I can't handle stupid boy men. You know what I'm saying? It bothers me to no end. And seeing them, I'm telling you, I can't handle it. You know, so now I'm to the point, and I've been like this for probably about 4 years now. I don't care. If you're around me and you tell me, well, we associates or we friends, I'm just gonna call you out. I'm not wasting no time on you because it don't make sense. Why are you doing stuff that's ignorant? You know, and then you're making all of us look bad because now everybody is comparing the good men to you idiots. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. You know
let me hear from these young ladies, man. Listen, my man said a lot, man. So I mean, what are maybe Miss Jackson, Soldier Girl, maybe y'all talk about your deal breakers or something in a man. Can a man drink every day? Can a man not have a job? Can a man not, can a man not be doing something productive? I don't know. I don't know how you guys have your meters set where you can detect some bullshit. So I don't know. So,
this is a book that I'm actually working on. It's called The Little Book of Big Red Flags.
Okay.
And the bottom line is there are a plethora of big red flags. I wish I had my list, but I don't have it available to me. It'll take me a minute to look it up. But one of the biggest things that I think plagues our community, even at our big age, is weed. A man who is a weed smoker by habit is suppressing a lot of demons. That is not a therapeutic way of handling your life. It is it's a cover for, and the stuff is still there, and it's unfortunately subliminally and subconsciously driving pretty much everything they do. So that's one of the big things. That's a deal breaker for me. If that is your go-to way of handling things, that's a deal breaker. Another one is no spiritual guidance. When he said that about mentors, that is such a huge part. If you don't have a friend group, that's scary for me. If your friend group is childish and wild, that's scary for me. If you don't have some kind of connection with a higher power, I'm preferable to being in relationship with people who don't mind going to church, who don't mind fellowshipping. That's a problem for me, because what do you answer to? Where's your moral compass? What is it attached to? I can't deal with that if you don't have that. I need somebody with some kind of moral compass. What else did he say? And then your track record. Like what are you? Do you have all of these women? Do you have a long track record with, women, like that kind of thing? The community did, as he said. Yeah, that's all of that. Those are some of my biggest things.
But Miss Jackson, I'm gonna hit you with that thing. They said that most women want a man that they know other women won't. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman hits up a man, and this man, he ain't got no girl, he ain't got nothing, he ain't got nobody even trying to be his girl. They're like, what the hell wrong with you? So most women want a man that's wanted by other women, right? Is that right?
Well, I'm gonna say not me. I'm gonna say a certain type of women. Because it's a possibility that there is a man that is out there that is not when I say out there, he's single, but he's not for the streets. So the streets don't know he's there yet. You see what I'm saying? So there's no mad grab for him because he's not advertising. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the type of woman that sees a guy with a woman and be like, oh, okay, or he must be like, that's not how I operate. I would be okay with the man with the dry phone because it doesn't mean anything wrong with you because my phone is dry.
I like that, Miss Jackson. I like that dry phone.
Yeah, because my phone dry.
Miss Soldier Girl, the phone got to be dry. I like that, Soldier Girl.
Okay, so let me start from the beginning. One of my first questions, what is your vice? How do you cope? Because your mental, it drives everything that you do. So I need to make sure that you don't have like toxic vices that's going to interfere with your everyday life. Can you carry a conversation? What's our conversation like? Do we vibe? Is our energy, are we, meshing together? Goals. I like that he said something about, okay, so goals. Do you have goals? And if you do have goals, are you pursuing them? A lot of people have goals, but they ain't doing shit with them.
So it means nothing, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh my God.
I want this kind of degree, but I ain't started school. But I want it, but I ain't started school. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. I'm a preacher's kid, so your spiritual is huge for me. You don't have to be a holy roller, but you do have to believe in something. Mm-hmm. I need you to believe in something. So, and then it's important to me, how do you treat the women in your life? Your mother, your kids, your sister, women around you. I look at manners. And I'm attracted to that old school man. Chivalry is not dead in my book. I still would like for my door to be open. I love that man that says, yes, ma'am, and well, ma'am, and yes, sir, no, sir. Things like that stand out to me. If you don't have a conscience of society, that's a red flag for me. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot. I have a whole list. And that's probably the reason why I'm still single.
Hold on to your list. To my list. I agree with everything you said.
So
the men are out there. Don't give up your. When people say lower your standards, I think you're looking at it wrong. It's not that you lowering your standards. It's that you are actually stop looking at the things that don't count. you stop looking at things that don't matter. A lot of the stuff that we put some type of onus on is minimal. It don't even mean nothing in the grand scope of your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, having that, you got to have somebody to answer to. If you ain't answering to nobody, you out here living reckless. You know what I'm saying? So you out here just wild. That's why I say for a guy, you got to have some type of spiritual life. I don't care what it is. You got to have some type of. You got to understand that somebody made us. You need to be trying to figure out what it is to you or whatever's going on. But you got to have that because you understand. Hey, I'm accountable to somebody. Yeah. My wife and my kids, they're accountable to me, but I'm accountable to somebody. I got to make sure that I'm actually, doing what I need to do to be a representation of who I'm accountable to. So if we don't do that, because I'm that fella that's accountable to God, you know what I'm saying, and that's just how it works for me, and I'm gonna always be that. So you have to make sure that you lock in on that. When you're accountable man, when you are accountable man, you conduct yourself differently. Your mentality is different about a whole bunch of things. You don't walk around through life and looking at things like, oh no, that don't have anything to do with me. No, it has something to do with you because at some point, if you're the only person that's eating and nobody else is eating, the people coming to your door, they're gonna eat. So you got to make sure that you're not just letting stuff just go. You have to make sure that you locked in and we having those real conversations that we talk about. Now, don't be scared to talk about it. Don't be scared to hold your man accountable. Don't be scared to hold your woman accountable. Hey, we signed up for this. Let's do what we said what we're gonna do. Don't be out here just signing up for stuff and not understand that the contract is binding. It means something. Don't just jump in the contract and think that you can do whatever you want to do because you signed up for it. The sickness and health, richer, poor, better, worse. As soon as stuff don't go your way, you ready to take. I'm ready to go. That's not how it goes. That's why I say when you're younger, you make a lot of mistakes. But as you get older, you should be starting to trim a lot of those mistakes down and start conducting yourself like you're a decent human being at the minimum. Because we all have that spirit inside of us to let us know that hey, you're moving wrong, fella. So we got to make sure that we listening and trying to do better as people, as males and females.
And every great leader that we know in our lifetime had a great leader as a mentor. They had someone that they looked up to, somebody's principles and guiding, principles that they modeled themselves after. And if you have somebody that's just out here figuring it out on their own, you lean into your own understanding on a regular basis. You're going to be a confused person because we are sinful beings by nature. So we're not going to have it all figured out. You have to have something guiding you.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Okay. Hey guys, let me ask you a question and tell me if it's BS or not. We're talking about husband material and wife material. So you're in a relationship, right? And then, there's a proposal and, you accept the proposal, right? So is this BS or does this affect you any kind of way, Miss Jackson and Soldier Girl? Will this affect you in any kind of way? So you're engaged now. Mm-hmm. When your relatives and everybody say, girl, you got a good man. God sent you a man. Girl, you lucky. You got one of the good ones. When they say all this stuff, knowing that they really not living in your house and know everything about you guys, does that affect how you feel? Because it's the public giving you the praises that girl, you got a good one. Girl, they see him go to work every day. They see him open a door for you. They see how you guys act with each other. But when they start showering you with all these compliments, girl, you got a good one. Girl, you lucky. Girl, I wish I could get one like that. Does that do anything for you guys?
I don't think I ever felt that.
No.
Your auntie like, girl, you finally got you one half decent, girl. Your mom be like, I'm so happy she finally found a good man. Family, friends, cousins, uncles, aunts, they always give you that. It's like they give you that validation. The girl, okay, you got you one.
So
go ahead.
They're not in the house. They don't see what I see every day. Their opinion is just that, their opinion. But it's what I feel. I'm not going to be persuaded by anybody's opinion because they don't know what I have to see every day. What you see is the representative. He's supposed to present himself in a certain light in public. Mm-hmm. But the way he treats me when we're in our four walls is that different. Does that collaborate with what they see? So yeah, it's just their opinion. It's just their opinion, but it doesn't sway how I feel towards my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can say
when they seeing that, a lot of times they might have saw the growth that y'all had throughout your relationship, and they see like, man, this is awesome. They doing this. They don't understand all the work that you had to put in to get to that place. They only seeing the fruit from all the work. So they like, oh, look, they doing that. They doing, man, look, it was a lot of days we were sitting over here and I'm on one couch, she on the other couch. We both breathing heavy and steam coming out our ears. But we had to understand of, hey, we started out the relationship with these are things you can't do. We can't say this. We can't do this. You know, so for us, divorce was never a choice or an option. We got to figure it out. So we have to figure out what's going on. We don't. That's never our mentality. Well, I'm leaving because it's not working. We got to figure it out. So did it come days where, hey, you know, I'm gonna sleep in this room because, you know, I don't want to be by you right now because you're working my nerves, you know. So you're gonna have things like you're gonna have times where but we never leave the house. We can't leave the house. You gotta stay in the house, or you still gotta fight through and get through every situation that you have. So you gotta have rules because there's gonna be some conflict gonna come up. You have to have rules and how you're gonna conduct yourself when you're in that kind of those conflict situations. If you don't have those rules, you're gonna do some crazy stuff. And you can say you're sorry, but it was like I saw they gave a great analogy. My man take the plate and broke it on the ground and said, "Now tell the plate you apologize. Did it go back together?"
Yeah.
No,
you can't unhear it.
All the pieces. You just saying that you're sorry. So sorry don't fix everything. You know what I'm saying? So some stuff you cannot do. So you can't undo it with a sorry. So that's why you gotta have those rules to engagement, because you will do some stuff that's very detrimental to your relationship.
Yeah. You can't unhear it. All right, guys, we're gonna get into our last video, man. One video remaining, and then we'll go from there. Let's get this one up. I even forgot what this lady's talking about, but she's pretty good. She's got a lot of followers on she's a doctor. She's got a lot of followers. So she's got a lot of content. And she got a lot of followers.
And it's embarrassing and it's completely unnecessary. It's one of those things where you have to learn how to control and manage your emotions. The reason why so many of you ladies are struggling to stay in relationships and are struggling to get engaged and get married is because you are not able to manage your emotions. When something happens and you get angry, you go overboard. And that can make a man decide immediately that he does not ever want to deal with you again. This also comes into play in terms of knowing when to speak, knowing when you can stay silent and when you can speak. And it's not like when you can speak because you're less of a person, but knowing when, you know what, I'm just going to stop right here. I'm not going to say anything else. I've made my point, or I've said what I had to say, and I'm just going to be silent. Knowing when to do that is so important. And this is something that you can practice with your friends, with your family. You can practice with your coworkers. If you're not in a relationship at all, it's something that's actually great, because when you finally are in one, you'll know exactly how to show up. And these qualities that I'm sharing with you are so rare that when men find them, they immediately just want to marry you. Like, they just want to be with you, because women nowadays are so hard and they're so aggressive. And so many women, because of how society has been set up here in America, and because of the culture with music and with our celebrities, have been taught wrong, have been taught incorrectly. So a lot of women are doing these things thinking that this is the way to behave, and it's actually coming back to hurt. So I want you to consider.
I know y'all ain't like that.
No, I loved it, actually.
I like it. Hey, listen, she said you got to know when to speak and when not to speak.
It's crazy, because I just had this conversation earlier, and I just said that I have learned the art of silence, sitting in something until I'm able to speak on it without it being irrational, without being emotional. That's something that's very, very important. But I think what she was more speaking on also was, we have a tendency to beat a dead horse, right? Like, I've said it.
Boy,
I said it. You know what I'm saying?
Again. Say it again, though. Say it again.
I said it. It's done. I said what I had to say, and there's no need to continue to just, and a lot of time it becomes emasculating, it becomes belittling, it becomes berating, for it to be just constantly driven. But I also, with that being said, when you are with a husband-minded person, you don't have to say it but once. So that's your clue that perhaps you're not in the right place anyway. Because if you're having to constantly repeat something that's important, because if it's important to you and you're with the right person, it's going to be important to them as well. So you're not going to have to necessarily, and I'm not talking about, baby, can you install the Ring camera? Right? Babe, you're off. Can you install the Ring camera? Babe, it's been 3 weeks. Can you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about things that matter, meat things, right? Those types of things. When you talk to a man about something that is bothering you, he's going to take care of it. So I think we get into places. I think those women need to reevaluate their entire situation. If you're having to repeat yourself, if you're having to constantly say the same things. Another thing she said was, I think it kind of comes into where she said society. That's so deep, because that whole happy life, happy wife, happy life mantra, I hate it. I hate it because it devalues the standings of the man in the household. I believe in happy spouse, happy house. I believe in that. I believe that it is a partnership. So you can't just, it's not just what you want. Your man has feelings, and he deserves for those feelings to be heard and acted on and all of those things. So you can't just be out here doing what you want all willy-nilly, and he just has to deal with it. And I think men, unfortunately, in our society have been taught also to accept that, just to accept it, and that's not okay. It's not cool. That just your feelings are valid. And we've started to, now don't get me wrong, there are some sassy, zesty men, but I think now what's happening is when a man voices his his discontentment with something, he's sassy. But no, he's not. He's valid. What he feels is valid. What he's thinking about that situation, that man not wrong. You know what I'm saying? But because he's expressing himself, oh, he's zesty, girl, he's sassy. No, he's not. He has a right to feel the way that he feels. He's human. He has emotions just like you. So I think that we have to kind of get into a headspace. I like what she had to say. I don't agree with that at all.
Was she? Do you guys think she was kind of heading towards emotional intelligence? Which is when you're able to manage your own emotions and to understand the emotions of others? Was she going down that path a little bit? Because listen, if we're having a discussion and we're talking about letting your aunt borrow $5,000 or refinancing the house, whatever, and we done talked about it on Monday, and we done made a decision, and come Thursday, she's talking about it again. We already did this. We already talked it. We already sat down. We already went over the do's and don'ts. We've crossed we're done. We're done. But come Thursday, when she's talking about it again, it's like she didn't trust your decision. Mm-hmm. She didn't trust your decision. Like we sat down and we had the full discussion of this issue. Letting somebody borrow $5,000, a relative, refinancing the house, buying a nephew a car, or whatever it is. We already sat down and did our thing. We talked about it and we made a decision. Come Thursday, she was never happy with the decision. But come Thursday, she wants to talk about it again. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe you're not leadable. I can't lead you. I can't lead you. You're not letting me lead. I involved you in the situation. I valued your opinion. We talked about it. I didn't just make this decision by myself. I involved you in the decision process. And now we move forward, and it's time to put it in effect, and you want to talk about it again.
I think it boils down to their respect piece. Just trusting that leadership and knowing, and this is where it comes down to the wife being in the wife place. Let him do what he feels is best. And if it falls, be there to help him clean it up. That's it. That's your role.
I agree. Sebastian, I just want I'm gonna I want us to talk about it. I want us to discuss it. I want to hear what you got to say.
That's what I mean. I don't mean just let him do whatever. I'm talking about in the scenario exactly the way you said it.
Yeah.
We discussed it, we agreed upon it. I'm gonna fall back and I'm gonna let you do you.
Okay.
And if it does not work out, then my job as a woman is not, see, I told you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should have listened to me. Yeah, okay, babe. Well, okay. Now we're here. So now what? What do we do now?
Let's go.
Then that's what I mean. I'm not saying, I don't have a tongue. I don't have I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
No,
When you are conducting yourself like a man in the sense that, like All Star was saying, y'all are communicating, y'all talking about, y'all discussing. I mean, you already can with a plan. Was most of the time when a man is sitting down, I ain't talking about boys, I'm talking about a man. We have actually thought through this situation like 18,000 directions and what can go wrong, what can go right, what if this don't go? Okay, even though we came with this plan, what if this here happens? And then so we have walked through a million calculations on how this thing could go. We like Doctor Strange. We done went all through time figuring out what could happen in this situation, even though we discussed it with you and we come up with that plan. But we understand that ultimately, even if the plan does not work, it's going to fall on me. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get us out of the situation if it does not go according to how we thought it was going to go. Even though my wife is going to be there and she's going to support me, she's going to help me get through it, and we're going to figure out what to do. But the weight from that is going to fall on me because I feel like if as the leader, I am ultimately responsible for my family. So I'm gonna have to get out here, and so when we making these decisions, especially when your band is and your husband is involving you in those conversations to come up with this plan, take the conversation serious. Don't take it in the mindset of well, I'm gonna just let him pick what he wants and I'm gonna do. No, take it serious. Understand when the man is sitting down and telling you all this stuff. If we go this way, these are the things that could possibly go right or go wrong. If we go this way, these are things that could possibly go right or go wrong. What are you willing to deal with if it don't go how we think it's going to go? What's the bad that you can most likely be able to survive through as we getting back on track if this does not work? Because that's ultimately where you at. Because if we saying like also say we're gonna loan somebody $5,000, okay, you're giving the money that you actually need for your household. So I'm giving it to them. I ain't saying hey, it might be from your savings. Your savings is your money. It ain't somebody else's money. You want your savings back. So even if you're giving it to them, you got to understand, okay, we got to trust these ones to give us our money back. We got to, okay, what's the time frame on it? What happens if they don't give it back when they say they're going to give it back? Life happens. So what are we going to do? Are we able to still maintain and not jack our relationship up because this does not go according to how we thought it was going to go when we initially made the plan? So we have to make sure that we are adult enough and serious enough to know that these decisions are not taken lightly, because I'm an overanalyzer with everything. So because I know I'm responsible for it if it don't work. It's going to be on my neck if it don't work. So I got to make sure it works. So when you're having those conversations for ladies out there that's going to have a man, not a boy, in a man body. If you get a man, when y'all having those conversations, listen and take the information serious. Don't be jacking around and have real input. Don't just be saying stuff just for the sake of I'm at the meeting, so I was there at the meeting. Okay, it's good, just pick whatever. No, really give your input on, hey, well, what happens if this don't work? Because he might not have thought about a certain aspect from the angle that you can look at it from. So, make sure you're giving real input so he can make a sound decision, because it's going to affect your household if it don't work according to how he thought it was going to work.
Yeah. Soldier Girl.
Sebastian, you can tell you're very seasoned in this lifestyle, because one thing that you keep saying is we.
Yeah.
When you're collaborating, y'all both have input on the decision. So if the shit goes haywire, then guess what? It's the decision that we made. You're going to take the responsibility as the husband, but collectively we made this decision. And so that wife, she's going to be like, you know what? She's going to take her ownership and the accountability of the situation fell on also. So I really vibe, and I really like the fact that you're using we. That communication that's top tier. You have to communicate, and it's so much better when that man is not just the one that's just like, okay, I made a decision, it's my way or the highway. Normally that don't work out.
It won't.
That wife's her input is valuable.
Yeah.
So the majority of smart men, they do value the things and the input that their wife gives them, and they take it into account. It may not be the decision that they go with, but at least acknowledge her input. So keep doing what you're doing. I applaud you.
Oh yeah, it was work. This thing just pop up.
I know.
I've been doing it for 20. We just celebrated our anniversary 23. Yeah, 23 years. So, it's work. That's why I say, hey, you got to man up. You can't be out here playing. And I'm glad I had people, real men in my life that was really guiding me and helping me and making sure that I wasn't falling off and not doing things, because you have to have that. That's why I say you have to hold people accountable. Don't play with people, because you are leading people down the wrong path, and you're going to be accountable for those people. Lead them astray with that stupidity instead of putting them on track like you should be, and having real conversations with them. It's okay for a man to cry. Take that man off to the side and tell him the truth. It is what it is. The truth is going to always be the truth. No matter how hard it is when you get it, it's still the truth. So it doesn't change anything. So you got to tell people the truth and be honest, especially with our men and y'all with our women and our young ladies. Make sure y'all honest with them. Hey, I saw something that hurt my heart. I was riding down the street and I saw these two girls. They had a baby in a stroller and they had these little bitty shorts on. I'm talking about their butt cheeks out. They couldn't be no more than 13, 14 years old. And it hurt my heart. I said, I'm like, your mother let y'all come outside like this, and it was okay. I'm like, with the mentality of these heathen men and women running around here today, they allowed you to come out like this, and that you were, I'm like, man, it's bad and it's sad. So make sure y'all staying on top of our women, our young ladies. Keep them in tune and lining them out, because I'm gonna stay on top of these young men. I'm just built for it. I cannot let us continue to be ignorant and walk around doing ignorant things. So I got my nephews now. They call me on a regular basis. We getting stuff together. I got one that's finna buy a house. He gonna rehab, and so we getting it together. We trying to get stuff lined out so these fellas can build on and make generational wealth, even for their families and their kids and they spouses. So we trying to make some men. I'm tired of these young boys masquerading as men, running around here jacking our women up, doing all this crazy stuff. And that's what makes it harder for when they meet somebody that can actually lead. That's what makes it harder for them to accept the leadership, because they have dealt with idiots for so long. It's hard for you to say, I can trust, I can trust you to lead me. I can trust you that you're gonna make sound decisions, until you run into a fella like myself that's locked in. And then they come in like, no, I don't have to handle you. You are soft, you are gentle. I'm here to love you and respect you. You do the same for me, and we're gonna keep it moving. I don't have to handle you. I'm not your daddy. I'm not here for that. We're here to be in a relationship, and work together and build something. So you have to come in and do that sometimes. We have a lot of broken women and men. I'm speaking on the perspective of the man to the woman. We have a lot of broken women because the men have done so much jacked up stuff that we have messed our women up. And so when they run into somebody that's got some character and got some stuff going on, everything is a red flag. He moved wrong. When he turned sideways, Tyrone smacked me when he turned sideways. I know he's going to do something because he turned sideways. That's not the case. So we have to make sure that our men have a little grace, for our women. If you're a real man, have a little grace for them, because they had to deal with some dummies. The same thing with the women. Have some grace for some of the men that's actually, trying to get there, because, it's happening. But we've been dealing with some stuff that's kind of crazy. So I'm just trying to get everybody on track. And I love these conversations, especially about this husband and wife material, because we got to have that, because people think that because he got a whole bunch of money and he got these fancy cars, he husband material. That's not the case. He is not husband material because he got that stuff. It's how is he looked at in the community? How is he looked at when other people see him, his sisters, his mother, his the people that come around and see somebody like, man, I want to be like that. And your nephews, and they come out, I want to be just like him. Now that's somebody that you ought to be trying to look at like, hey, he probably got something going on. Not people that they running from. you probably want to stay away from him. You walk up to the family reunion, and the uncle come tell you, you probably don't want that one. You might want to let that one go. You know, you look like, what? That's your uncle saying it. So they know they not a lot of the older men not gonna play with you. They're gonna go and tell you the truth and try to get you out of there. So I'm so happy that we're talking about having this topic right now. So it's lovely to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm long-winded, but I'm saying this is very near and dear to Jane. I'm trying to tell you right now. It's very near and dear to me. Marriage and relationship.
I was going to say that phrase, but that phrase has been used too much. I was going to say the men standing on business and not faltering and holding the standard, man. Even when the standard may cost you time, or it may cost you more money, or it may involve you in a hard conversation, but standing on business, man, standing on the standard, man. This is the standard. This is what's got me to where I'm at right now. And I'm going to hold it. You know what I'm saying? Even when it's hard to hold the standard sometimes, man. It's hard. Like I told y'all, my type is not a supermodel. My type is a beautiful young lady that feels confident, you know, a beautiful young lady that has her shit together. You know what I'm saying? A woman that walks a certain way, you know what I'm saying? She only has eyes for me, just like she only have eyes for her. So it's like, to me, sexiness comes in many different forms. You know what I'm saying? I watch how you walk. I watch how you talk. You know what I'm saying? I watch how you connect with me. When I'm talking to you, I want you to watch me. I want you to watch me. I want you to give me your full attention. And I'm going to give you the same thing. And that's what's going to make us vibe. That's what's going to make us connect. And that's what's going to get my attention. And if any kind of thing is going to happen, any sparkle, any love, then it's going to take those things right there. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'll ask you later who wanted to know that.
Huh?
And so I'm gonna ask you later who wanted to know that.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
So listen, man, we're gonna go. Y'all silly, man. Hey, so listen, everybody that doesn't know, man, I'm sorry. We had a big break in our talk. Let's talk relationships. But Miss Jackson, author Miss Jackson, is a co-host of this show, and Sebastian is a co-host. So going forward, Sebastian is going to run his own segment, and Miss Jackson is going to run her own segment. Now, Sebastian's going to give you the sensational Sebastian marriage tip of the day on every episode. And our author is a school teacher, and she's going to be, school is in session. She's going to give you a tip in relationships. So we have our segments going forward. We're going to figure out what day is good for us to go on with the Let's Talk Relationships. I think it might be Wednesdays. I don't know, but definitely not Sundays. It's definitely not Sundays, because I can't hold that one. I can't hold Sundays because the slingshot takes so much of my time. But we'll figure it out, and I'll post it, and it's going to be meaningful conversations that we need. Okay, guys, what you guys got? You guys got anything before we get out of here?
I just love the talk today. The talk is lovely. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Find that forever person that's going to be there with you, and you can celebrate and hit those milestones with it. And there's nothing like doing great things, but having somebody there with you while you're doing those great things is just undescribable. So.
I agree.
Well, Soldier Girl, I want you. The door is open, Soldier Girl, for you always to come back, man. Soldier Girl used to run her own podcast, her own show, a couple shows. So, you know, feel welcome, Soldier Girl. When you come in, I know you coming in as an expert and you're ready to listen to the content and give your opinions. And according to our panel, a lot of those guys agree with you guys. So you were speaking facts, or you were coming straight from your heart. You know what I'm saying? This was not scripted at all. And that's what makes a good show.
Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for having me. I really enjoyed myself tonight.
I've been staring at your face like you look like somebody, or I know you already. I don't see it. I don't forget a face. It may have been a podcast. I don't know, child.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we've been on here it doesn't seem like it's been 2 hours and 8 minutes, but
I'm glad we having fun.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll figure out what day we can go. Listen, since we on here, Miss Jackson, what is your day? What is your free day? What is your day? Because it's not an hour podcast. It's 2 hours. Huh?
I said it's the summer, baby. I'm free.
Yeah, but school. Yeah, you out of school. What grade do you teach? 5th grade, 6th grade?
I teach 5th grade. I'm trying to go to high school this next year, though. I'm trying to go into teaching high school. I would love to teach 11th or 12th grade. We'll see. I'm also looking into becoming an adjunct professor, like doing some professor work as well through one of the community colleges. So we'll see.
Yeah, Miss Jackson, author Miss Jackson. Well, go ahead and tell us about your books and where we can purchase your books.
When It Rains is my novel. It is about a woman who thinks that she's married to the love of her life. Unbeknownst to her, he has this whole hidden personality side of him that she has to navigate through. He leaves her. She ends up getting caught up into a romance with a previous love interest that she never explored. It becomes this big triangle of a thing. It's a lot of emotional roller coaster going on. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to be angry. It's a lot going on in there. And the jaw-dropping ending will have you texting or emailing me like, girl, are you serious? Where is the next book? So it's a really, really good book. And then I have my poetry collection. I've released only one of the collection, which is called Confessions of a Tired Heart. I am currently working on Confessions of a Healing Heart, and both of those can be purchased at llynnjackson.com.
Okay.
Follow the books link.
Yeah, we need to put that out more in the podcast, throughout the podcast. Author Lynn Jackson. We need to put that out more, man. So when we do our, going forward, when you're doing your segment, make sure we plug that all the time, man.
We'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Do a better job of that.
Sebastian, man, what day? I mean, Sebastian, busy guy, man.
Well, Wednesdays at work. You want to do Wednesdays?
Wednesdays good for you. 8:00.
Wednesday work for me. 8:00.
All right. So next Wednesday, we're gonna be ready for the sensational Sebastian's tip of the day. Tip of the day.
Yeah, you better believe it.
I need you to go in, Sebastian. I need you to go in.
Oh, come on, always. When it comes to marriage and being a husband and a man.
Oh yeah,
I'm locked in on that. So we're gonna always be hot on those situations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, man. Well, hey, we're gonna get out of here. We at 2 hours and 11 minutes, man. I think that's a good time to stop. So anyway, man, we'll see you guys. Thank you, Soldier Girl. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't forget.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Listen, I thank you guys for taking time, man, to get on Straight Up TV, man. I am your Slingshot platform, man, for YouTube. Anytime you feel like you want to come by, man, if you have a conversation, man, if you have something to say that for the betterment of the Slingshot community, man, please contact me and come on the show, man. So let's close out. Let's close out with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Give me your social media.